have yet to hear from you or your office whether you're going to be talking about the safety of our community and the Jewish community worldwide. The Prime Minister of the only Jewish state in the world is going to be coming to speak to Congress.
That's correct.
And we haven't heard from your office.
That's right, because we haven't made a decision yet.
Okay, and will the decision be made?
Yes, the decision will be made. And the community will be informed.
Thank you.
Can elaborate on what's going on behind the scenes with people going to the Netanyahu speech, people not going? What's the pressure like in Washington?
It's tremendous, and it's not just Washington. It's I think in people's constituencies, and I think that we're trying to strike a balance as best we can. We understand what the concerns are with respect to the negotiations, the issues with Iran, and the existential threat it poses to Israel. The concern is this an appropriate way of bringing the Prime Minister into discuss this in light of the President's State of the Union address, in light of the elections taking place in Israel, circumventing the White House. There are a whole host of layered issues that unfortunately are bearing down on a very crucial issue, not only to my constituents here in Brooklyn, but across this nation in the relationship that we have as a nation with Israel. So it's very challenging.
Do you think this is more of maybe the way Netanyahu handled the re-election of President Obama the second time around?
I think
that maybe this is more payback.
There are so many layers to it. There's so many layers to it. I think that there was a way in which heads of state typically come to address a joint session of Congress that was circumvented, that blindsided the executive, that many feel is an insult and a disrespect to the executive branch.
Now, one more thing. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu comes in almost every year anyway for the AIPAC. Now, the AIPAC it happens to be coinciding with the election, so
exactly.
he was really here anyway, and that's the real reason why he's coming here. Does everyone realize that it's more of that, not a political?
I don't think that is the way it's being perceived.
But do you,
I mean, there are various ways of which it is being perceived, but most Americans don't know about the AIPAC conference. So for some who do, they understand that. For those who don't, they're just wondering why the political dynamics have arisen this way.
But aside from the politics, but as an elected, as a member of Congress, do you understand though the concern that he has? Because Iran says straight out they want to annihilate Israel.
I mean, this is an ongoing, and that's why we have sanctions on them now, right? That's why we have voted several times to have sanctions on Iran. And right now, the administration is engaged in negotiations, right? Within 2 weeks after the address, we will know the outcome. And I think the request of the White House to give them that leeway is a reasonable request. And that's why people are speculating about motives.
Now, what happens if it doesn't work? What happens if it doesn't?
I can't speak to what the next steps of the executive branch will be. I know that it will be a very vigorous debate in Congress, and I look forward to having that debate.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.